Mic for this working. Hello YouTube, welcome back to Ereban Shadow Legacy, continuation of my very first playthrough of the game, and I'm ready to stab a bitch. So let's go. Poor Seth, we only know him for 5 minutes, and now he has been turned into a ghost paste, I guess.
Oh God, it started.
Let's go. Epic music. Well, chapter is over. I know that I didn't... Okay, I have all the tech cards, which is great. And a B rank. Good. Good, Anakin. Good. I could not neutralize like 3 Sims. Because they were kind of tight packed in the room, and I didn't want to be bothered with them. They caught me a couple times. Apparently I'm non-lethal. Apparently I'm still non-lethal somehow, even though technically destroying robots would be lethal because it's eliminating the enemy, but okay. Yep, go for the next chapter. I'm gonna take another sip of tea. Huh, interesting. I don't remember my shadows being a little bit goldenish.
Well, it was great knowing.
Hold on. Yeah, from shadow powers, I didn't really have any additional upgrades now, did I? Intriguing. But I really like the fact that the more of the beacons, the more echoes that we're gonna interact with, the more our character looks changes, and I really like this schematics of colors, like the little bright blue with the yellow and the black. I remember when I used to play Warframe, that was a schematic of colors that I was always using on my Warframes. I really enjoyed it. Only in my case, blue was symbolizing the power, while yellow and black was the I was basically using as a outside I was using black as an outline and yellow stuff to be used more on the inside pieces of the Warframes. Bro, fashion frame, I ended up the fashion frame so much. I was fashion framing for 8 years and I stopped. I simply stopped. It's not like I don't like Warframe. I still would recommend Warframe to anybody who is looking for an actual good free-to-play game. It's basically, to me, I just got bored of Warframe. In the end, there was like new frames were released, new primes were released, new weapons got released. But for me, I just did not found that it would be enough for me, you know? It's simply, in the end, it was all the same stuff. It was just get into the game, grind the parts, create the part, max out the weapon, and that's it. I say at a certain point I was like, I love this game, but I cannot play it anymore, and so I stopped. And yeah, just basically no hard feelings. I don't hate the game. You're never gonna see me saying bad words about the developers, because Digital Extremes, out of all developers, they proven to everybody in the gaming industry that you can try and you can do your very best to find the balance to make a free-to-play game while also work with the community at the same time. They proven everybody wrong. Just like single-player games proving wrong to EA. Got him. There's a power source up there. I need it. No, it's not a power source. Oh well. Warframe is grindy, but to be also honest, it doesn't tight you. It doesn't keep you like locked in to the grind. Like you can basically abandon the game for like a year or two, like I did. Come back at any point of the of your life, which I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that, and still get back to the game. And you still have like the freedom of doing whatever you want. Like it's not, there's not a situation where you can just stop grinding and come back to it later. But they also definitely have reduced the grind. The more time, the more years have passed, the less of a grindy systems they eliminated. I think currently the only severely grindy system that they have implemented in that game is the Kuva system, with the Kuva blood, with the rolling the ribbons. That's the only system that is absolutely disgusting and horrible to grind and horrible to get. Ziggurat history. I found some writings, old but not as old as the temple. The ancients who worship here believed that the universe was born from vast sea. The Erebans did not construct the place themselves. They simply repurposed it, a vast cavernous ruin, the biggest on the planet, to house the central echo. And now we have done the same. Turned down the carvings of an unknown gods, drilled into the copper and the gold inlay, erased the runes to house our ark, a temple to progress, or perhaps our mausoleum. I played even before Eidolon was a thing. Eidolon was a fun thing to do. Like, it was fun thing to do because it gave a reason to people to like figure out strats on how to kill him the fastest. It was fun. It was really a time where, to me, where Warframe could use like the full potential, could use a little bit more of that brain power and create more stuff like this, where you basically can figure out different things to do, like what would be the most efficient way to kill this specific thing with all the equipment that you have. Because if you go against the regular enemies, you pretty much don't really encounter that in that specific game. You basically pick any weapon that you feel that fits with the build, and then you just go for it. Like, for example, you pick up Soma with Wisp, and then you deal in pretty much infinite amount of damage.
Can you check for the controls?
Yep. They're connected to an operations room somewhere nearby.
Great, I'll take a look.
Hold on. There were a lot of highlights in this zone. Right, so this drone is refusing to move. That's a piece of junk. There's a guy, but I think he's a worker. He might be a friendly worker. I am not 100% sure of that. Yeah, already have that. Housekeeping.
You! I knew you weren't a worker. They sent me here as punishment for helping you. And you stole my card!
Mika, I'm sorry. But the Enlightened are using the remaining power in Kepri to escape to another universe.
Helios says the Forgotten Sons are murderers. You could have killed me. Or any of my colleagues, but you chose not to.
Exactly.
You are not my enemy. But I still need to get to the Ark Gate.
Look, Luckily, I have clearance, so you can get through without the security sims catching you. I'll activate the platforms now.
Thank you. If I switch off the gate, you should join the Forgotten Sons. Tell Mira I sent you.
Be safe.
Right, so I'm gonna assume that now I'm fully capable of using the drones to travel from one place to another. Whoops. That was a little oopsie. Oopsie poopsie. Anything else in this area? I mean, yeah, there's this thing over there, but obviously I cannot use it anymore. I'm already full of full on ammunition. I think my right mouse button is malfunctioning a little bit. I'm dead. Okay, that didn't contact it. That is fine. That is okay. Shit happens. Oh, no, wait, I forgot. The shadow landing ability, it only functions at a specific length. But then again, there's no fall damage. If there's one thing that this game could benefit from, is health bar. It would make the... I sincerely believe that health bar in this game could be a good addition. It would make, like, all the shots matter. I mean, currently all the grenades and everything can still be one-shot me, but having a health bar... I don't know. I think it would already make this game that is... Oh my goodness gracious. That's a lot of robots. Anyway, let me first finish my thought about the health bar. I think this game basically could use a health bar. Like, because then it would make mistakes with falling way too far, a sort of punishment. I think the grenades exploding too close or right at you could be also a good indication. Getting stunned by the little apparatus that the enemies shoot at you could also be tied to a health bar. That would you have to remove it not only just to be able to like use your powers, but also to not lose so much health. I'm happy with the system that we have already implemented in this game. Basically, if you're gonna get caught and you don't have the ability, you're done. You're donezo. You're dead. If you're gonna fall down, you're dead. I'm still happy with this, but I'm simply trying to think. Well, at least initially I thought that the health bar would be useful, but maybe the system that is currently implemented is alright as well. Anyway, my life's work. Sims are the lifeblood of Helios. They do the work that we cannot. They keep the peace, protect us from those who would tear down our ideals. But few inside Helios know where my research has led me. I will incorporate an organic element that will raise them above where mere machines may have donated their bodies to science, given their organs, their eyes, their brains. And we will eventually use these to create the most advanced intelligence the universe has ever seen. This is my life's work. I hope it is not lost in the course of the great purpose. Ooh, piece of candy. Hello, monkey. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I want to go for that energy source. Gimme chicken tendies. From a concerned enlightened, I want it known that I am against this plan. It is monstrous. Why are we saved? Why do we get to flee to another universe? Nine could never have intended this. The Ereban Echo network used in such a way, and what if we trapped inside? They said there's a chance, and then we would simply be exchanging one prison for another? Right, there was a workbench somewhere over here, right? The best is I could be found out. My unit is getting mobilized in October for a year. Ugh. So you guys are getting deployed, huh? Not sure if that's a good or bad news, honestly. I don't know how you feel about it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the miner level 2. I still cannot upgrade this. I'm gonna have to wait. But hold on a second. There was a shadow power that I wanted to get, right? Yeah, there it is. Teleport behind an enemy from a certain distance. You must be in shadow mode to activate. Yeah, let's take this. That looks broken as hell. Okay, not broken, but definitely useful. To me, it sounds like you are gonna be far away and offline for a long time. This is why my reaction
Great,
came from.
more Sims.
Yeah, hella Sims over here. Oh, this ability definitely works. Ah, crap. Well, I died. I wasn't looking where I couldn't see where I'm landing. You'll be gone for a whole year. Okay, and who have noticed me? Was there a guy like down below over here? So I got noticed by somebody. Another player just mobilized. There's a difference with mobilization. I'm not leaving the country. So you're basically gonna be rather busy, huh? That's how I understand it. Well, shit. Yeah, I cannot do anything. Where did that guy came from? He was not even remotely here. What the fuck? He was not even remotely here. Oh. Nah, that's fine. That's fine. That simply surprised the living heck out of me. I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, these guys cannot go through here. So essentially, they cannot do anything against me anymore.
This one was attacked.
Wait, I killed that sniper. Oh. The medic have respawn him. The medic have found the body and respawn him. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, let me actually figure out where this medic is gonna come, because he's gonna definitely go down here. And that's gonna allow the other guard to notice me.
I heard something. I have located the
What? What? But I pressed the button for the execution? He was on the staircase, so the execution should click in? Oh, that is so bugged. Dude, that is so bugged. It's... Yeah, I need to restart this. This is so bugged. Let me tell you why. Because basically the game have decided to not count, like, as I reloaded the checkpoint, right? The game decided to not refresh my entire equipment. It decided to only give me one charge of teleportation behind the enemy's back. It's like the game already was thinking that that I already executed one of the robots when I didn't. Oh, that's my fault. That was definitely my fault. Instead of being crouched, I decided to start running like an idiot. Oh my god, this guy is so bad at video games. He plays for the first time, he doesn't do it perfectly. I mean, oh my god. It's time to leave this channel because he's so lame. I demand the perfect playthrough every single time. Blah blah blah. No, nobody really thinks like that. Nobody really thinks like that. Nobody really thinks like that, but there are definitely people who does. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, now the other robot cannot notice me. There we go. Yeah, I cannot get a good aim on any of these guys. That's sad. That was nothing. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's nothing. Everything's perfectly fine. Nothing here. Must have been the wind. I must cut on the air. I'm starting seeing things. Yeah, he's gonna notice his medic. Jet will make you jittery. I guess she was right.
Are you functioning correctly?
Nah, worry about yourself, son. Alright, let me craft this and craft this. There we go. Can I loot this guy? No. But I see a guy above. Yeah, I should be able to reach him without any problems. Nighty night. Night. Can I... Nah, sadly it doesn't work that way. Though I really wish it was. Right, so I need to allegedly get over there. But the laser field is currently active. Yeah, that is not a climbable surface. But this looks climbable enough. Yeah, don't need that. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to perform a little bit of a trickery on this thing. Maybe I need to move the light somewhere. Because maybe I need to go through the ventilation shaft that's over here. Let's try it again. Maybe. Oh wait, I cannot stand on it. Okay, I see, I see. So I would need to start using the shadow power very early on if I want to reach the area that I think I want to reach. Nah, yeah, it's impossible to reach over there. Can I have a better? Let's leave that for Fallout, okay? Once we gonna reach play Fallout this year, that line is definitely gonna be viable. God damn it! I did it just a moment ago. I mean, I don't want to use the most obvious option that is like the most visible one to me, because it's I think it's pretty obvious that I need to kind of use this, probably, most likely. But I want to eliminate that option. What if there's a different way to move where I want to move? I'm simply not sticking where I want to stick.
I shouldn't stray too far.
Shouldn't stray too far. That's like the way where you need to go, right? Eh? Tell me that this is too far? Are you being silly, video game? Alright, different plan. Yeah, it's obvious that I need to use the shadow over here. Let me guess. The solution is probably so obviously easy that I try to overcomplicate it with like series of silly jumps. Yeah, the solution is easy. So you just do this. And then you play with more shadows. Yay! It's not a snarky complaint. I know this game is all about shadow manipulation. Oh god. Hello. Let me guess. The light only works on it for a specific amount of time. Yeah. Let's try a new power, shall we? Hello there. General Kenobi. Yeah, that's too far. Bye-bye.
Are you functioning correctly?
Bye.
Search.
Yeah, grab me, sure. Ah, damn it. I didn't fire my void projectile fast enough. I got detected. There was nothing I could do over there. I could blind him, but it was too late. It was basically too late. Is that robot is gonna know this? And his friend is dead? No, he's not. Okay. I know this guy is gonna detect that. I can only perform this attack if I'm gonna be in the shadows, like this. Because highlighted, the other two guys can definitely notice me. Yeah, he's gonna take the bait. Anybody else in this room? Nope. It seems like I'm fine. You know what would be great when it comes to this specific room? This asks for a Metal Gear Solid 2 reference. When you have... Okay, like, I think it would be maybe too much of a fan service. But imagine a screen playing some kind of, like, Nacian speech. And you would basically have to move around the robots. Like it was on a tanker in Metal Gear Solid 2. And they would suddenly move left, move right. And if you try to like move the projectile or initiate disable the lights constantly, they would notice you eventually and the game over thing would play with like some kind of music that would be similar to Metal Gear Solid. I think it's a wasted potential here. I think that would be a great meme. I think that would be an amazing reference. It's not like this game already didn't put the references from Mass Effect. I think there was even a reference from BioShock, Splinter Cell, and there was a reference from Metal Gear itself. But this is just such a missed opportunity for Metal Gear Solid 2 reference.
Warning, this area is unstable. All human workers will be evacuated. Please proceed to the muster points. Have a bright and energetic day.
Nah. Ooh, okay, this one is moving fast.
Ayana, you came. Do you understand now the great purpose of Helios? What did I reveal about her part in this?
I'm not telling you anything.
No matter. I'm sure it was not the whole truth. Your people were the only ones who could save us.
And 9 sacrificed them. I know this.
Ooh, okay. I didn't expect the light to be in my way, but let me guess, that also skipped the dialogue. That hurts. That hurts. I want to see what she has to say. Another improvement that could be done for this game. Repeatable conversation options. Or non-interruptible conversation options. Because now I don't know what these two, what kind of conversation they had between each other, which might not allow me to understand the story better. Well, if you don't want to understand the story better, how about you stop rushing the game? I just like stop for a bit. Shut it. Shut it. Do it. Right. So I'm gonna assume. Maybe. Nope. The game is not allowing me to do this. Uh-huh. Nope. I think that I need to get into the vent, but it basically requires a good, like a specific timing. Or maybe I need to slow something down and I just don't know where the button is. No. There must be a different path. There must be a different path somewhere. There must be a different path somewhere. Right. Yeah, it's probably just need to get over there. The ventilation shaft is not the correct entrance. Ooh, piece of candy. Why are we here? Just to suffer. This place creeps me out. It's like the kind of place a comic book villain would make his secret lair. Close. I know we're supposed to be proud to work here, to be such an important part of a great purpose. But how can we be proud? Yeah, that's a typo. How can we be proud of something when we have no idea what it is? It could be the death of everyone on the planet for all we know. I mean, I'm sure it's not that. Helios are secretive, but they are not evil. I should put this data pad in the trash compactor just in case. Oh boy, aren't you wrong. Items? Items? Loot? Loot?
Mira, are you getting this?
The whole ziggurat is shaking apart.
I have to hurry. I'm seeing the access, but no way to reach it.
Okay, I think I have you. There's a bridge, right?
Not that I can see.
Oh, right. It needs activating. There should be levers somewhere. Looks like.
Oh my god! I just thought of a silly meme. The entire cigarette is shaking. In the meanwhile, behind this door, there's a bunch of freaking Irish people dancing river dance. I don't know. That was the first thing that came into my freaking stupid mind. Thank you, Deckard. That didn't help though.
Found one.
Great.
I think it
Bridge
might
has
make
50%
things
power.
even worse.
There should be another one just like it. You need to pull both. Got it?
Right. So I need to find another lever like this. Oh, let me guess. Yeah, it's a time screen. I have a I had the right feeling.
What are you talking about?
Helios is the Shadow Legacy.
Okay.
Nine gave us your people, because there was no other way. I should
Ah.
tell the truth.
And another dialogue option skipped. Unless it's gonna repeat it again right now.
There's still time. Billions of years left to get but each minute epic and epic.
Game? What was that?
There's still time. Billions of years left to get but each minute epic and epic. We asked them to stop and they refused.
What are you talking about?
Helios is the Shadow Legacy.
Okay, this time the conversation option have actually repeated.
Nine gave us your people, because there was no other way. I should have said the truth.
Okay, another data pad. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Do you have it in quantum? I could have stopped myself. Today was literally the best day of my life. I was minding my own business, cataloging the Watchem jobs, and then someone knocked the window, and they were, the Enlightened. And not just one or two, like all of them. I took them 3 hours to go past. It was like watching some kind of parade, except there was no music or balloons. I can't wait for my shift to end so I can go home and tell my wife. Beep up.
Bridge now.
Yes, I see it.
That's the way to the Ark Room.
Was there something in your tea?
This is it, Ayana. The walls are several meters thick, so
I don't know.
be on your own.
Thank you, Mira. I will do everything I can.
Ayana? Good luck. I really hope we'll see each other again.
Maybe there
So
was.
long, Mira.
Or maybe just a sudden surge of endorphins into my brain. Or any other brain chemical. I guess pick your evil at this point. I really wish I could hide Ayana. The other thing that this game could benefit from, because it has like very beautiful like graphic aesthetics, very beautiful areas. Photo mode. Just simply photo mode, because sure, I'm still gonna make a screenshot of this, but a different camera angle or just photo mode in itself would be such a perfect... Another one. There we go. It will be such a perfect addition to this game, because this game is beautiful. The art choice is absolutely brilliant.
Ayana, is this not incredible?
You have to stop. The gate will destroy the universe.
What do we care? This is no longer our home.
Set, please.
Set is gone. 9 is gone. We are Lucia. Our true name forgotten no more. This was always the answer. Our duality strengthens the way, and the remaining Erebans will power it. After all, it is because of them we are here.
What do you mean?
The Echoes drained Kepri, not just by accident, but by design.
No. This can't be true.
We live in the shadows. Why do we need the light?
The Ereban were willing to let everyone die? For what? To live forever? In the echoes?
Nothing dies. Nothing lives. So now you know the truth. Will you join us?
Destroy the Echo, save Echo, join Helios. Decision making. I wish there was more of that in this game because there was definitely a few opportunities for that. No. If you're gonna destroy the Echo, we can't destroy the Echo network. Our legacy will be gone, but the universe will have more time. Save the Echo. We owe nothing to humanity, but you, me, the Ereban, the Forgotten Sons. We can save them all in the Echoes. So that basically like enslaves all the people and turns them into the Echo. So no, join Helios. The Ereban were never my people. I will join you, but we must also save the Forgotten Sons. But then at what cost? Because the Helios have only shown that they are very good at creating more robots and enslaving other people and draining them like battery packs. Now let's destroy the Echo. That is my decision.
We can destroy the Echo network. Our legacy will be gone, but the universe will have more time. We can't let everyone die.
What do you care?
The Ereban were wrong. Stealing the light, dooming everyone. Do you really want the destruction of a universe to be on our hands?
Helios has shown us the way.
Everything dead, everything you cared about, the Forgotten Sons. Please, Lucia, make a different choice.
Capri will still die.
In 100 years, maybe. Enough time to find another way.
We want to go home.
Then go. I will keep the gate open just long enough.
Such defiance. Such nobility. You saved them all, Ayana. But a few more years. But at what cost? The echoes are gone. Your people must live in the light, stripped of their powers.
Is it really that bad though? When there's a day and
you
night?
are trapped in a dying universe. Your legacy is hope.
Hope Legacy, unlock the Hope ending. Well, we managed to beat the game. Okay, can I skip? Yeah, I'm just gonna skip the credits because I always do that. This is a good game. That's workers alive. Yeah, there was only one worker, roofless, apparently, allegedly. Are you sure you want to return to? Yep. It's a really good game. Like for yeah, overall it's C. Yeah, I kind of deserve that. I kind of really deserve the C. I wasn't like the best player. Morality non-lethal. Yepers. Okay, I actually want to show it. Pick up something. Like choose on something. Like if I'm gonna go for the off-world. If you already have chapter in progress, you will lose all your progress obtained during the chapter. Quick collectibles, powers. Okay, so I can repeat the game from any point, but I'm probably not gonna get my powers back. That's how I understand it. Because if I'm gonna go for continue, what's gonna happen is if I'm gonna go for continue? Is it gonna stop me at choices? No, it's over here. Okay. So I can still pick up any other choices if I really want to, but I'm happy with the current choices that I have made. Let's try that offward chapter because I want to see how the chapter selection works, and then I'm gonna say a couple words about it because there's a lot to say about this game. There's definitely a lot to say about this game. 100%. Yeah, skip it.
Hey, don't try.
Oh. Well, look at that. This game basically has a new game plus. It was not necessary for this game to have new game plus, and yet here we are. And I consider that to be a welcome surprise. I really like new game plus. It's a thing that I always liked. That means I can complete every single chapter right now and basically max out the character if I really feel like it. And that's cool. Okay, actually, hold on. No, that's actually pretty good.
Is anyone there?
Yeah, I want to skip the cutscene because it's not necessary for me to see it.
Ooh, good stuff.
Ooh, piece of
but
candy.
Not good healing stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the healing stuff over there.
They landed in the most awkward of places.
Hold on, how did I get over here? Okay, I see. I want to help her for a second,
I
but
should get back to the pilot.
because I want to have as much freedom of movement as I possibly can. Don't get me wrong.
Here,
Like,
this should help.
I already can say that $25 for this game, it's good price. It's a good price. You guys can currently get it at $25.
Hi, Ayana? You're awake.
You're finally
Gotta
awake.
say, that
Try
lady-
to start it. Try to start a new game,
Where
eh?
are we?
I mean, to the
Try to start a new game, eh? You finish that trap like us. Ain't that thief over there? Yeah, that's a data pad. I don't really need to do the data pad unless I'm gonna plan to do new game plus of this game. Which, hold on, how do I get over there? Hmm? How do I do that? No, I know how I do that. Off-world. I want to have like a good view on something for the review. Now no hit? Yeah, you pretty much do this game no hit, no detection even.
So, Mira wanted reports. Neat.
Like no detection playthrough?
Hey, it's me.
It's definitely
alone,
doable.
So I could take it
Kill
out.
all, no detection.
Or sneak past.
Definitely doable challenge. I want to get to the open area before I'm gonna start talking about this game, because this game is great. I like this game. I really, really do. Definitely gonna do repeatable playthroughs in the future. Then go for it. Yep. I mean, it's definitely doable, like I
This
said.
place is huge. Mira, I see the jammer, but the location is crawling with Sims.
I would need to do like 2 or 3 regular playthroughs of this game before I would try to even think about doing no hit. Perfect camouflage. Yeah, honestly, this is gonna be good. Yeah, this is wonderful. This is wonderful view. I didn't even know that I could do that. All right, so time to review this game in best way that I possibly can. Ereban Shadow Legacy is the very first game released by Baby Robot Studios, Baby Robot Games, excuse me. And it's totally worth the $25 that you that you basically pay for this game. It's 100% worth it. It's fun game. The graphics, as we can already see, I'm playing on max settings without the motion blur, depth of field, and any other stuff. This game is beautiful. Like, the graphical design and art direction is like absolutely perfect. It's just, this game is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The gameplay is fantastic. I'm gonna say this much. For the first game, the character movement is on point. Like, it's not lame, it's not non-reactive, it's not bad. Even if you go into shadows, you can, if you go into a little shadow orb, like you're moving like this, right? Your movement, you can still do so many things while being in the shadows. Like, you can perform several executions at the same time if you know how to do it. The combat of the game, it's also pretty nice. Sure, you cannot really defend yourself that much, but I think the main purpose of this game was to be as stealthy as possible without getting into combat too much. The stealth is the basic of this game. I don't really know what else to say. My brain is right now scrambling through the bunch of thoughts, and I thought I already had like a specific list of things that I want to talk about, but I don't. I simply don't. The skills, maybe let's go for the skills. Let's go for the gadgets. Let's go for the stuff. Like, shadow powers are great. I went for the left side of the shadow powers and maxed out every single shadow power I could besides these two. Besides, like, the power that allows me to stun enemy that is currently chasing me. That's the only power that I couldn't take. But honestly, if I looked for every single possible shadow orb, if I could find enough shadow orbs, I would definitely go and max out my character. I would definitely do that. The skills are not boring. The skills are fun. The entire shadow manipulation, using shadows to traverse from one place to another, is very good. It's really nicely implemented. It works really, really great. Like I said, the movement of the character is perfectly fine. She runs fast enough. The only thing that I would like to see in this game is only like grabbing ledges. If you choose not to pick up, maybe not pick up shadow powers, but if you don't choose to use the shadow powers, is basically, you know, just grab the ledge with your both hands, because there are definitely a few jumps in this game that you could not really perform unless the light is not highlighting a certain spot, you know, and basically you were forced to constantly use the shadow power. But yeah, the powers itself are good. They are fun. They are nice. Like, I went for the left tree, and quite honestly, I do not regret that decision. Being able, in my case, to blind an enemy, being able to, even if I would get grabbed, to suddenly like sneak behind him and just execute him was absolutely brilliant. I kind of wish that this skill was already given, though. Like, you basically have this half a second QTE, this half a second thing where you can basically sneak behind the enemy and execute him as a form of self-defense by default. But implementing it as a skill, it's also pretty great. And then also, I never tried to control a robot. Because when I'm playing a stealth, I usually just prefer to murder people. But I definitely can see how this skill can be very useful. Like, how this skill can be very good, because, for example, take control of a robot, then deliver that robot all the way to like a forbidden corner, then kill the robot so we can focus on other enemies. This is a very nice skill. There's definitely some kind of utility in it. I just didn't found it myself during this playthrough. for example, the Shadow Warp skill that I have unlocked, that was brilliant. Just being able to sneak behind the enemy and either dodge him altogether or perform an execution. I decided to go for executions because I'm that bloodthirsty. Still, the skills are fantastic. I really like the skills in this game. Using the shadow abilities is absolutely good. From gadgets, the only gadget that I have found to be like remotely useful that I have done was the sonar that could highlight the entire loot and enemies in the specific area. I really like that, but that eliminates any form of purpose from the visor. There's no reason for the visor. Even if you're gonna use the visor, you cannot mark the enemies, you cannot highlight the enemies, you cannot highlight the loot unless you're gonna go for the final rank, which makes this entire visor totally pointless, sadly. When it comes to the mine, I would highly recommend only leveling up the mine to level 2 because it can stun multiple enemies at the same time, which I already have shown that a little bit in the past. Mine is pretty great. I never really managed to use items while I was being chased. I tried to do it a couple times, but the robots were basically way too fast. But that's a different story. Probably something that I should have used with a little bit of practice, I suppose. And decoy, I thought that I could use decoy, but the decoy turned out to be also not really that great. Like I can see the purpose. You simply distract the enemy and then you basically sneak behind the enemy or avoid the enemy altogether. I understand the purpose of a decoy. I just never had a good opportunity to use it because I had the sonar, I had my blades, I had the mines. That's all I really needed to use when it comes to the character. All right, so what else I can talk about? I think I'm gonna try to put a review of this game on Steam after it's gonna be like how many hours? Like 6 hours yesterday, and now we are going for the 5th hour. So I beat the entire game in 11 hours, trying to like figure out stuff and doing anything like this. It's just all I'm saying right now is just a collection of my thoughts about the game, which I already said about graphics. Absolutely great and fantastic. I think the weak parts about this game could be the story. Like, okay, let me put it like this. Story is there. It has potential to be good, but it feels pretty rushed. Like, on the very first chapters, you find the Helios. The Helios expose themselves to be this so-called good organization, but they're blocking your path. They are spewing a lot of propaganda, which gives you obviously a highlight of them being not really the greatest people in the galaxy or the universe. Nascent, which seems to be the major boss fight of the game itself, seems to be like the not major boss fight, but like she highlights herself to be a major villain, but then she doesn't even remotely becomes a villain. Like, she's there, she teases you all the time, but then she doesn't really do anything. Like, she's only there to cause distraction for you. It really feels like it. Character of Ayana, it's kind of complicated. Because at certain missions, she tried to be like relatable with like, you know, using the codec stuff over and not thinking and trying to talk with people. And then she says at the very beginning, she says, "Oh, I'm the lone wolf." But then she kind of like very rapidly changes her mind when she tries to help everybody. But then the game kind of forces that upon you. The character of Set he's there. He plays the role of the leader. He does what a typical leader does, and then you figure out that he's special. I think it should be done a little bit differently. I really believe that. I don't know what the fuck to believe. Set is such a weird character. He's a really, really weird character because the game wants you to like worry about him, and then it turns out that he's like a half of one of the echoes. Like, the story feels really all over the place, to be honest. That's the weakest part of the game, is the story. It feels rushed because first Ayana says she's gonna be a lone wolf, she's gonna take care of her own business first, then she's gonna take care about everybody else. But then in the end, she takes care of the business of everybody else's over her own, to a point where the story demands Ayana to finally discover the history of the people. Like, the premise is good. You are this person that tries to find her own past, and that's a good premise. The premise is getting kind of sort of continuation with while you explore the echoes. While you get the echoes tells you like the background story of what have happened with the species or race of Ereban. And initially you think that Ereban got basically extinguished by the Helios, and technically speaking they did, but the problem is Erebans were started working against each. Basically there were the 9 Ereban that was called 9. It was basically the one who betrayed them. Well, later we discovered that her name was Lucia, something like that. And Set was the compassionate part of Lucia, while 9 was the echo that was a different part of her. But you cannot really say what 9 really was, because 9 was only telling what she remembered when it comes to the story itself. And then they joined together and they tried to use another echo to do something about the universe. Like, I initially thought that it's all about the galaxy, right? Because when you touch like singular sun, you think galaxy, but all of a sudden it's all about universe. I'm still being a little bit perplexed about the story. Maybe it's something that I simply do not understand. Maybe it's something that I simply did not pay really that much attention about. Maybe the developers simply followed with the good old rule of creating video games. The story can be implemented into the video game, but it doesn't have to be the greatest focus. Which, in my opinion, it actually should be a little bit more focused. It kind of reminds me, like, the story and how the story progresses, very similarly to Nier Automata, which I think this game definitely drains a little bit of inspiration for Nier Automata when it comes to presence of the areas, when it comes to like certain themes. That's definitely, I can smell that Nier Automata. But definitely developers of this game had thought, hey, we like Assassin's Creed, we like Metal Gear Solid, we want to create something of our own, let's make it. And they did it. And don't get me wrong, for the first game, having this freaking graphics, a stable, almost constant 60 FPS, I'm playing on 60 FPS, but having this constant, stable frame rate at all times, game that doesn't crash just because you do something, game that doesn't bug out on you unless you really force it, having a game this stable on your first product, that deserves a praise. Absolutely deserves a praise. A game that looks so wonderfully also deserves an absolute maximum amount of praise. The gameplay, the smoothness of the movement of the character, the fact that every single ability works and there's no really that much of a problem, also deserves a praise. I think the little bit slightly weaker part about this game is the enemy AI, because okay, so for example, I'm gonna get myself caught by this enemy, right? If I'm gonna run far away, I'm simply gonna find an elevation. This is where enemies cannot do anything against me. Pretty much majority of the enemies just derps to the death and they do not know what to do anymore. And also, I have noticed that I think the enemy detection works based not just on a sound, which they can definitely hear everything that is around them, but I think there's also a specific cone of sight, which is pretty visible. Like even here, you can see that cone of sight. It's basically the cone of sight leads from the very top of their head, and it goes in triangular shape to the outside, and you even know where it ends. That I think has been definitely borrowed from Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid 1, 2 had very similar system where basically every single enemy had a cone of vision and also a little bit of hearing, but that's rather a comparison for the game from like 1999 2001. And I just made the smudge on my glasses because I'm that wonderful. And like I said, you can pretty much cheese it by simply getting on a little bit higher, which on a certain point, to a certain point, can make you feel like the game is easy. And I would say, to me, the game was fun. The difficulty was fair, because if you got yourself caught, it was either out of your own incompetence or your own way of simply not knowing about the thing. Like for me, I got caught a lot of times because I played this game for the first time. But you guys can also count the incompetence into the list as well. So yeah, that's hello Van. Hi Van, hope you're doing well. What else I can say about this game, dude? Like, I think the story, I could return back a little bit to the story. The story has a potential, but I think the story itself feels a little bit rushed. Like, I sincerely think that the story has a huge potential, but what they focused on is to basically show the backstory without putting that much of a... I hate to say that, but it really feels like they didn't put that much of an effort into character development of Anya, Seth, Nira. Basically, those characters are there. They have personalities, but they just there. That makes me sad, but that there is no... Like, the only thing that would make this story way better than it already is that if basically Anaya would, like, I don't know, not be like this character initially that would be like, yeah, whatever, I guess I'll help you. I don't know. I think basically the characters are fine, but Anaya could be improved. I like that the echoes are showing the backstory of the game, which was not initially explained, and because we figure out the backstory, we also learned what Anaya is and what have happened in the past with her entire race, and I like that. That's a good way to show an in-depth lore of the game. But where the story suffers is with the characters and the character development of Anaya herself, because it simply suffers from that. It's just, I don't know. I would probably have to play this game one more time, maybe one additional time to maybe take a closer look, but from the very first time experience, it just gives me that vibe. Not that I don't enjoy the character of Anaya in any shape or form, but it could be better. It could be better, but again, I understand that this is the very first time when somebody have created a game. And for the five-year development cycle that this game have apparently went through, this is a solid title for a indie studio, to release game in this state day one, no patches needed. It's just bravo, just great, good job, great job, amazing job even. I only wish that I can highly recommend buying this game or getting this game. And I'm kind of hope that I really hope that this game has a huge chance for a sequel that could go more in depth when it comes to character development. Like, you have a potential for a sequel. the galaxy, and every single thing that we have done, we have saved the place. Everything still exists, right? So there is still potential for a sequel, and I would like to see Ereban 2, maybe in the next 5 years. But I would like to see a sequel to Ereban 2, where the final decision that we have made have an actual consequence on everything that have happened. I really would love to see that. But yeah, it's a good game. It's not perfect. No game is perfect. But they definitely were observing the good patterns for the games that they were inspiring them. Like I said, beautiful graphics, amazing graphics even. Like, look at this. If that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. The following with the art design is absolutely amazing. I really like it. It gives you a little bit of that Borderlands kind of vibe, because you can definitely see that the robots and Ayana herself and the characters themselves are kind of cartoonish, and that's kind of where it gives me the vibe. It's kind of giving me that Borderlands vibe, but I don't really mind it. That's good. That's a nice decision. And you know, it didn't even bother me that this game does not even have facial animations, because the voice acting in this game does all the job. Like, the voice acting is really good. That's something that I have forgotten to mention. Very good voice acting. It's really, really nice. Like, the characters, even though the majority of them are not, I don't really care that much about the characters themselves. The emotions that they were representing through the way they speak were definitely visible. They were definitely there. It was great. It was amazing. I like that. I really like that. The protagonist design reminds me a lot of Legacy of Kain. Like Raziel with the blade. Bro. I see it now. I see it now. I definitely can see it now. Like, imagine, okay, so Raziel from Legacy of Kain, he has that thing, you know, he has his clan banner wrapped around his face, and then also has like the shadow, like dark, wrapped around his lower face. And when she pulls out the blade, it's her right hand, which Raziel also uses his right hand to pull out the soul reaver of his. I can freaking see that, okay? I can see that. Yeah, and also the fact that Raziel was like all blue, and Anaya is also kind of bluish, where it matters, which is practically where we can see the skin. I can definitely see it right now. But yeah. What else can I say? Was there anything else that was like kind of bothering me, or can I even praise this game even more? Because this game deserves a praise. $25 for this piece of art? I'll buy that for... Okay, I'm not gonna buy that for $1. Because in a matter of fact, I have been given this game for free by one of the publishers, if not by the developers themselves. And... Fuck, I feel like I'm gonna gift this game to somebody in the future, because right now I cannot really afford buying or giving games to somebody. But honestly, this game is worth its money, and I would like to give it to somebody, just so I can actually give, you know, the appropriate monetary credit at least, because I already have given the developer studio the credit in the words themselves. This unbelievable. It's way better spend than buying AAA game nowadays. Yeah, I also agree with that. I'd rather spend $25 or $30 on this game and having an enjoyable playthrough all the time. This game is actually very relaxing, all things considered. Like, it's really relaxing. I really like playing this game. Like, bro, this game is fun. This game is really fun to play. Really relaxing. They did not need it to give us a new game plus. They really didn't. This game is good on its own without it, and yet they give it as well. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Okay, let me drink the rest of the tea. So yeah, Ereban Shadow Legacy. Grab it. Hold it. love it because it's a fantastic game. And $30, $25 for it, it's 50% less, and you get definitely a lot. You're definitely gonna get where the money is worth. I don't really know what else I can say about this game. People of Twitch, they're over here. If you haven't got this game yet, grab it if you can afford it, because I can understand that affording video games in the modern times can be a little bit complicated. If you cannot afford it right now, wait for a discount. I'm pretty sure that this game is gonna go on a discount, and if you guys can like send a word about this game to your friends or people who like stealth adventure games with a little bit of platforming, where there's actually some kind of form of unique mechanics, do it. Promote this game to everybody. Do the studio a favor, because they definitely have put in a lot of effort into their very first game ever. Animations are smooth, everything is smooth. I think the only thing that I can like mention that was like kind of awful or odd was that at a certain point the music was just stopped playing for an extended amount of time. I had to restart the game for the music to start playing again, and I think that's basically like a bug. And also another thing that I think was a little bit more annoying is that certain dialogue options were basically skipped just because I either died or I pressed a lever or I pressed a button, which did not really allow me to hear the characters, maybe hear a little bit more about them, understand them better, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's something that could definitely be fixed. Add a photo mode to this game, and also another thing. Oh yeah, another thing that could improve this game. The only way that you can pick up the skills in this game is if you are playing with mouse and keyboard. You can only select your skills via scroll lock. You know what I think would be good? If you could use the numpad, the upper numpad on the keyboard, the keys from 1 to 0 on the keyboard itself. If you could use that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Also, I can already see that some people are gonna complain, why there's so much purple paint? Why there's so much purple? Why there's so many tips? I'm playing this game for the first time, but you know what? If you really hate the displayed hints, you can disable them altogether. Like this. You can just disable the things, and you have the game the way you want it. That's another thing that developers have thought about, and they implemented it into menu, giving player of choice if they want to have tips visible or not. It's that simple. For me, for the first playthrough, I set it up on high. I don't want to get lost. I really want to enjoy the game. And I really did. I really did. I really did enjoy this game. I'm so happy that I have it. And I don't know what else I can say. I don't really think I can say anything else. I hope for a sequel. I really hope for the sequel of the game, or for a game that's for the second game. And hopefully we're gonna see some, I don't know, maybe a little bit better character development, because I think that is the weakest part of the game. Just the character development. Everything else, the background story, the lore of the game is there, but we could definitely dig deeper into it. Like, take more of that story. Take it more and just give a little bit more so we can figure out more about how everything happened. I mean, sure, we know already. We know that there was a race. The Helios have arrived. One of them have betrayed them. I do understand that, but honestly, I want more of that backstory. I want more of it. I want to absorb more of the lore. Give me more. Who knows? Maybe if the developers are gonna release a second game, that would be great. But yeah, besides that, not much else to be said. If I would have to rank this game out of 10, I would give it I think a very good and justified 7 out of 10. If it was up to me, I would give it a very good and very justified 7 out of 10. Because graphically it's beautiful, gameplay is fine, but it definitely has ever so slight flaws. The story, the backstory is great, but the story that happens in real time is lacking a little bit. It's like the character development is lacking. So this is why 7. But the Baby Robot Studio have shown that they have a lot of potential in them, and I honestly hope that they are not gonna close down or they're not gonna get bought off by anybody. If there's one thing that we need to keep is that studios like this need to be kept alive. They really need to be kept alive because really, yes. What if you couldn't give it a 7? What would you pick? Well, if I couldn't pick a 7, I would pick 7.1. Yeah, because yes. Because this game definitely deserves a solid 7 out of 10. And if I'm gonna give them the 0.1, let them have it. They deserve it because they definitely, there is potential, there is visible effort. People that were working in this game, they knew what the hell they were doing, and they provided a good product that is not overpriced like fucking Call of Duty. And also the size of this game, you get, okay, you guys, okay, when you look at this, when you look at those graphics, when you look at everything that surrounds you, how heavy is this game? How do you think, how heavy is this game? Just throw it in. You guys know how heavy the games are currently, that there are at least game that is 50 gigs, that's a minimum. How do you guys think, how heavy is this game? Throw it out, like throw random numbers. Van make of 25 gigs. 2030. Okay, okay. Are we gonna get another number? I would like to get another number. I would really like to get another number. I guess I'm not gonna get another number. Out of the head, 15 gig. Okay, yeah, BM. Yeah, sure, BM. I can use Google too. Yeah, but that's actually true. This game waits only maximum of 15 gigs. I think I'm even gonna check it out so I can be more accurate about it. Library. Shadow Ereban. 11.5 hours. No. Hold on. I need to open it because I need to open the folder for this game to actually verify how heavy is this game. Hold on a second. Steam library. There we go. Steam apps. Common. Ereban. No, it's even lighter. I lied. It's even lighter. This game, with the way it looks, it's 7.4 gigs. It's 7.4 gigs. For this. Are you freaking kidding me? For a game that is at least solid anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of gameplay and such a small size, that's very good. People were knowing. They definitely knew what they were doing. So yeah, Baby Studios, congratulations. I'm definitely gonna write a review. I'm definitely gonna praise the game on their Twitter. I'm definitely gonna give it a better thought out review than the one that I have right now. Like, don't get my reviews of the game or my thoughts about the video games ever as something professional, because everything that I say basically comes like fresh out of the mind, without any preparations, without any script, without anything. I basically speak my mind as it is, and a lot of time it's gonna be just a random ramble of random words and random sentences that some of them only make sense because that's simply how I function. Those people know how to properly do compression. Yes, they do. They definitely do, because the game runs, and it runs good on Unity engine too. All right, ladies and gents, I think that this is where we're gonna wrap it up. This is where we're gonna wrap up the thoughts in the very first playthrough of Ereban Shadow Legacy. Grab this game. I think it's worth it. For the first produce of the Baby Robot Studios, 100% good, 100% great. So yeah, people of YouTube, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, slap the like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. People of Twitch, we are still gonna stay here for a little bit, because I need to plan what to play for the next 3 days. So yeah, I guess it's simply get to it.